Yeah, you know that there's a lot of emotion in our locker room. What Sarah, Ashlee, and Aaliyah have given, Zay believed. We're really blessed to have been a part of her journey. And then CB and Gianna, my heart hurts for those 5 kids that have represented the University of Alabama and their families with such amazing grace and hard work and grit and toughness and gratitude. And so it's difficult, you know. I mean, we just wish we had another minute or two. And, you know, Maryland was able to make a play down the stretch and we weren't. So, but I don't think I don't think you understand how much I love, and I'm so incredibly proud of that group of people in our locker room and how they've represented all year long and had an amazing season. And I don't want this one day to take away from what they've accomplished during their journey at Alabama, and I love them all very much.
Questions now for Sarah Ashlee.
Sarah, Ashlee, there was a little bit of a delay before those 3 foul shots. What do you sort of have to do to get yourself in the frame of mind with the season on the line? You have to make them all.
Right. The first thing that I did is I walked over to Carly Weathers and I said, "Pray for me," because that's the Lord is who I look to for my strength, my peace. He upholds me. On my wrist, I write Isaiah 41:10, and it says, "I will strengthen you, I will help you, and I will uphold you." And regardless if I would have made all 3 or not all 3, he would have still been my rock, and he still would have held my head high. And I knew that, and that's what Carly's words said during my prayers. It was just, "Lord, show her that if she makes these 3, it's your glory. If she misses these 3, that's how her story was written through you, and that's how you wanted it to be." And so that's how I went up, stepping up on every single fruit, though, was how lucky I am that the Lord has put me in that position to even do that. And that's kind of all that's exactly what I went to, was who my strength is, and that's my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Questions for Sarah Ashlee? Over here.
Matthew Mason, Crimson White. Sarah Ashlee, one of the things that Coach Curry said that she's wanted y'all to do is just leave nothing in the tank. Is that something that you feel like you guys did out there tonight?
I think any team that goes into 2 overtimes has some of our players foul out, people diving on the floor. I think that we left everything that we had out there tonight. I couldn't be more proud of the team that I play with. I love every single one of those people in the locker room, and I kind of told them, after, is like, you can't question the why, but what the Lord does promise is that he's going to bring us through it, and he does promise that he writes our story. And for whatever reason, it was Maryland's story to go to the Sweet 16, and props to them because they left their heart out there too, and they gave it their all too. But I am a firm believer that every single person emptied their tank tonight, and that's all you can ask for.
Sarah, 45 points might be the most any opponent has ever scored against Maryland in this building. This is a pretty historic basketball venue. What does it mean to you? I know it's not the result you were hoping for, but what does it mean to you to be able to stand among legends who have played in this building?
Yeah, I think everything. Just the opportunity to be here, just the opportunity to play for Alabama and represent Alabama. 45 points is a lot, but I would have loved to win instead of score 45 points. But at the end of the day, like I said, it's not my glory, it's the Lord's. And he puts the super on my natural, and so that's what he did tonight.
Sarah, Rob Knox from The Next. Can you just describe playing in a game like this? Obviously, I mean, you alluded to a little bit of it as far as leaving our heart out on the floor, but as a competitor, high-level game, both teams making plays, both teams going back and forth, going to overtime, big baskets. Growing up, when you're growing up playing the game, learning the game, is this like the type of game you envision playing at a high level?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that you dream of these moments. You live for these moments, and it didn't go our way, but at the end of the day, I'm going to walk out, like Coach Kristy told us in the locker room, walk out with your head hold your head high and walk out of the locker room that way, because that was an amazing basketball game. I mean, for anybody who was watching women's basketball, I think we put on a show for women's basketball tonight, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm very grateful that I'm in this opportunity, and I was able to be a part of such a great game like that. Maryland has such great players. They have a great coach. And I mean, their coach said to me in the line, she was like, no team deserved to lose that game just because of how great of a game it was. And I definitely agree with her on that. Just, I mean, if you're a women's basketball fan, or anybody that loves basketball, I think that every single person could say that that was one of the best games they've ever watched.
Sarah Ashlee, what will you remember about this team for years to come?
I think I'll remember the relationships that I've built, and that's why I'm so emotional, because it doesn't matter about the wins, the losses, how many points you score, what you get on all SEC teams. Like, it doesn't matter. It's about the people in that locker room that are by your side every single day. And every single one of them has just lifted me to the highest. When I'm down, they pick me up. When someone else is down, I pick them up. And I think that we just have such a bond that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. And I'm a firm believer, like, your teammates are your sisters for the rest of your life. They're my best friends. I love every single one of them. I'm so proud of them. I wish I could have done a little bit more to send us to the Sweet 16 for them, just because I feel like we deserve that. And I just think that just what Coach Kristy and her staff has done for me in this program, I'm just so grateful that I've been a part of it, and I couldn't have asked for it to end any other way, just because we stayed together tonight, and that's all we've been trying to do all season. And I love every single person in that locker room, and it's more emotional just that I won't be able to play or be coached by Coach Kristy ever again with some of the people in that locker room. So.
Just a couple seasons ago, the team was in the NIT, and then now they get to be in the March Madness, and you've been one of the pivotal players that have been able to kind of help this program grow. What does that mean to just represent Alabama, and especially see the growth that's happened over the past couple of years?
Obviously, the ones that were there when I first got there, like Hannah Barber, Brittany Davis, like, you've got to give props to them just because of what they did for setting the tone. And when I got there, they were building this program on the way up. And so, and then when they left, it was kind of like, hey, you got to take this and keep going up with it. And I think that that's what we did for the past 2 years when they left. And I think it just means everything, because being a Birmingham kid, 45 minutes away from Tuscaloosa, like, to represent Alabama has honestly meant so much to me. I told her in the locker room, I was like, I didn't think I was going to end my career at Alabama, because I chose Georgia over Alabama. And I'm like, thank the Lord that I ended up at Alabama to be able to play for Coach Kristy for 3 years and be able to just represent the state of Alabama the right way, and continue on, how she's building this program the right way, because Alabama's not done. I think we're just showing what they're going to continue to do the next couple of years. And I'm just super, super proud of where this program has gone, and props to Coach Kristy and just her staff, because it's not just the players that just take it that way. She got here, and she took over a program that was, pretty bad, not going to lie, and look at it now. And I wish I could have taken her to the Sweet 16.
We head back to the locker room now. Thank you for joining us. If there are questions for Coach Curry.
Coach, obviously Maryland got to host, which meant this was a really loud, hostile environment. What are you kind of trying to do to calm your team down as the lead is slipping a little bit in the second half? And what was it like just for you to coach on the road like this in that NCAA tournament?
I mean, it was an incredible environment for women's basketball, but, I mean, we've seen it 8 times in the SEC. So, I mean, our experience of playing in that league, the best league in the country, I mean, we've seen this over and over. You know, we put ourselves in some row positions early in the season and saw it, you know. So I think we were, you know, the crowd was incredible, and it was a great atmosphere. And I have so much respect for how much they support Brenda and her program, but we've seen it so much. It was nothing new.
Hi, Coach. I'm looking at your shot chart here, and it's just layup after layup for extended periods. Did you guys expect to have opportunities like that, you know, in the paint against the given the way they were defending you and defending the three-point line?
Obviously did a great job defending. I mean, they're a bucket or two ahead of us there at the end. Yeah, I think when you make the choice to face guard and do some of the things they were doing with Aaliyah to try to slow her down, you know, we felt like we had driving lanes and felt like we could really do some, you know, get the ball to the paint. You know, that's what we do, you know, and counter with what they were trying to take away. So we just wish we had another bucket or two. I thought we did a really good job of getting to the free throw line. You know, those 9 missed free throws. Credit those guys. You know, the free throw shooting was pretty even. They just made a few more than we did. So, you know, both teams on the offensive glass, I mean, they're just so good. They're so big. They're so physical. They're very similar to who we see in our league. And, you know, we just came up a little bit short.
Can you just share what his you know, I think we saw it out there, but in words, what has Sarah and your senior class meant to your program?
I think I have the words right now. You know, they believed when a lot of people didn't. You know, I think we had been to a couple tournaments. COVID came about, we would have been, and so now, you know, it would be 5 out of 5, and they just have continued the legacy. I think she mentioned Hannah and Brittany and Jasmine and all those kids that have come before, and you know, they're just incredibly special people. Guys, they're everything that's good, and you know, we talk about grit, we talk about love, we talk about gratitude, the classroom, court, and the community. They represent their families in the University of Alabama the way it should be, and you know, I just wish I could have done something a little bit different down the stretch to help us get just one step further, because they truly are, you know, the hardest working group and high character, and I just feel like, you know, I could have done something different to help them down the stretch.
We do have a question in Zoom, so we'll go to that.
Yes, Jaisha Nance from Tie 100.9. Coach, I just want to ask, if you've seen Sarah Ashlee Barker go through a lot and overcome a lot at Alabama and continuously make history, what kind of legend do you believe she is for this university, as Alabama is known for where legends are made?
Truly is one, you know, and she's such a fearless competitor and an amazing Christian witness example. She's what every little girl should aspire to be in the classroom, court, and community, and I'm incredibly proud that she chose Alabama and for me to be her coach, and I know she's going to have an incredibly bright future ahead, as is Aaliyah and as is Zay. You know, they're projected on the draft boards, Gianna and CB. All 5 will continue to play, and all 4 of the 5 will leave with multiple degrees. Aaliyah's working on her MBA, so it's an incredibly special. They represent everything that a student athlete should. And I do want to thank you, Jai, for covering us all season long. And you too. Thank you for the support and the love of covering us at home.